Military recruits? What's the strangest punishment that actually ended up being a reward? We were 8 weeks into basic training when Private Jackson made the biggest mistake of his military career, or so we thought. During a live fire exercise, Jackson broke the cardinal rule. He stood up in the middle of the range while other recruits were shooting. Drill Sergeant Williams went ballistic. I've never seen a human being turn that shade of purple. The entire company froze. You could hear a pin drop across 50 meters of Georgia dirt. Jackson! What in the hell do you think you're doing? Williams screamed so loud that recruits 3 ranges over stopped shooting to look. Jackson just stood there, rifle in hand, looking confused. Turns out he thought he heard cease fire when someone dropped their magazine. That night, Williams pulled Jackson aside. We all figured he was getting recycled, sent back to start basic training over with a new company. Career over before it started. Instead, Williams assigned him the strangest punishment any of us had ever heard. Jackson, you're now my personal range safety officer. Every single day for the next 2 weeks, you'll arrive at the range at 0430. You'll inspect every firing position, every target, every safety barrier. You'll memorize every range command, every safety protocol, every emergency procedure. You'll know this range better than the rats that live under it. We thought Williams had lost his mind. Making the guy who screwed up the safety officer? That's like putting the arsonist in charge of the fire department. But Jackson took it seriously. Every morning at 0430, he was out there with a flashlight and a notebook, checking everything twice. By week 10, something weird happened. Jackson started correcting other recruits before they made mistakes. He'd spot unsafe muzzle direction from 50 meters away. Could tell if someone's stance was off just by their silhouette. He knew every ballistic table, every ricochet angle, every wind reading. When graduation came, our company had the highest marksmanship scores in the battalion. Jackson scored Expert Plus, the highest possible rating. But that wasn't the weird part. 3 days before graduation, a team of instructors from the marksmanship training unit showed up. They'd been watching our range performance. Turns out Jackson had been recommended for immediate assignment to Fort Benning as a marksmanship instructor. Skip the regular duty assignment. Go straight to the most prestigious shooting school in the Army. Williams pulled Jackson aside one last time. Son, I didn't punish you that day. I saved your career. You had the worst range discipline I'd ever seen, but you also had the best natural eye for detail. I just needed to channel it properly. Jackson spent the next 4 years at Fort Benning, training new drill sergeants and developing new marksmanship programs. Made sergeant faster than anyone in our class. Got written up in Army Times for revolutionizing safety protocols. The kicker? Jackson told us later that he'd always been a terrible shot before basic training. Never hunted, never owned a gun. That punishment forced him to understand shooting from every angle, except actually pulling the trigger. When he finally got behind the rifle again, he understood the science better than people who'd been shooting their whole lives. 5 years later, Jackson was running the entire marksmanship program for the 82nd Airborne. Sergeant first class at 24. All because he made one stupid mistake that turned into the best thing that ever happened to his career. Williams retired the next year. At his ceremony, he said Jackson taught him that sometimes the best way to fix a problem soldier isn't to punish them, but to make them an expert in what they did wrong. We still keep in touch. Jackson's a master sergeant now, stationed at Fort Carson. Every Christmas, he sends Williams a marksmanship trophy with a note. Thanks for the worst punishment that saved my life. Sometimes the worst day of basic training turns out to be the first day of your real career.